Airtime. Mark, 15 seconds until airtime.
Oregon is going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game. Big Ten champions. Big Ten champs.
National champions, yes.
Oklahoma City bound the Oregon Ducks.
Awesome day to be a Duck, man.
Boom inside. Touchdown Oregon. He gets loose. Fires. Hit. Pops the three. Oh, yeah. It's all Oregon.
This is Duck Insider. Duck Insider.
It's about how to be a group of people that know how to love each other to the absolute fullest.
Pleasure, a joy to be with them each and every day, and I can't wait for the future.
It's just fun to be a part of a community that cares, that is passionate, and when we come together, powerful things can happen.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Duck athletics.
Oh, it's Athletic Director Tuesday. Lisa Peterson is here.
Please tell me that he gets this excited for everyone.
What?
Just for me?
Why would you do that to me? I get told. Rob Mullen said this last time he was on. He's like, every time I come in, I just feel so welcomed and fired
so you do
up.
it. Yeah, you do it for everyone.
I do it for everyone.
Hey, you know what, though? We all do feel welcome, Joey, so
Thanks.
I'm not even going to complain about it.
So we have a score to settle. So
we're going to air our dirty laundry as we start?
Here's what it is. So,
wow.
So Lisa's phone. I'm holding Lisa's phone. It's really
heavy.
Shouldn't be doing
I'm sure.
that. Your phone is heavy.
Yeah.
Why?
Wait till you get there, Joey. Wait till you get there.
Okay.
The eyes, all the things.
So I send, because I think it's nice for people like Lisa to have an idea of what I'm thinking about talking about today. and I have on my calendar event, it has all my talking points. I've got bullet points.
I'm sure there's 10 of them for today.
Let me read them for you so that you know we're going to communicate.
We're just airing it all.
Yeah. Football season review.
Okay.
We're going to talk about college football. We're going to talk about winter sports spooling up. Also, a special place in your heart, I know, the 10th year of Jane Sanders Stadium coming up.
Yes.
60th season of Oregon softball.
Yeah.
And then I was going to ask Lisa, what else is going on?
Okay.
And normally when we get to what else is going on, 10 minutes later, then the interview ends.
There you go.
That's it. That's literally all I had written down for you today.
Okay, but now tell everyone what you see on my phone.
But on your phone, when I click on notes, it doesn't say.
Right?
But it says you accepted it, and on my end, it says that you re-accepted the calendar invite when I updated it with talking points. So now what I'm learning is
it's an IT problem. It's an Apple update problem.
I have now learned that I have to text them to you, and I will do that.
There we go. Yeah,
I just didn't want to add an extra text to your phone because your phone's already so heavy.
I know, you feel it. I just didn't want you to think that I was crazy because when it comes to technology, it's hit or miss with me.
And look, I'm looking on my phone and they show up there.
Oh, weird.
That's weird.
And are you an Android or an Apple?
Oh, one iPhone, two iPhones.
Okay, same.
Yeah.
I have this argument with people in my life about what's better, but
well, everyone has a preference, pros and cons.
Agreed.
And then I would say in general the features, it's really a Venn diagram, and the middle of the Venn is the significant portion.
There you go.
It's still a phone. Do you still call people on the phone, or do you FaceTime people first?
Funny you say that. I just got off of a FaceTime, but it was with someone who's 19 years old.
So,
right. But when I call most other people, I'm phone call.
So
that's a generational thing,
I didn't know this at the time, but it's already happened to my 3-year-old son.
Oh, they want to see your face?
All he knows is to FaceTime.
Which I think is good. Like, I mean, I don't mind it. Sometimes
Just maybe do it with your headphones in.
Amen.
Yeah.
But I don't particularly enjoy the time of the day when sometimes you're seeing people without.
Like 7 a.m.
You don't, have to do all the things, but, sometimes it's just not great.
Whoa. Hey, I just told my students just did their first I teach the broadcast class at the University of Oregon.
I feel like we're going deep already.
My
and
students,
nothing on that list.
No, my students just did their first broadcast in what we call the capstone sequence on Monday.
Yep.
They're wearing makeup, every single one of them.
But you aren't?
I don't usually for this show, and some of that a little bit inside the broadcast.
Those lights are really hot?
No, we set the light. Actually, these are very, very not hot, these lights. And we set these lights up for, shall we say, a reddened-skinned person like myself. And so
I've work. It should be working for me.
But that's exactly. So I've been able to get away with it over the years.
Well, there you go.
Now, when these lights, and I realize I need to knock on every piece of wood in this studio right now, when these lights inevitably go out by tomorrow, I'm going to have to start wearing makeup again.
Oh. Yeah. Well, I don't think you need makeup.
Thank you.
Just saying.
Every TV, as one of my old friends.
This is radio.
Camera's right there. You know, we try.
Fair.
But the running joke when we started streaming Duck Insider like a decade ago now was, it's a face for Facebook and a face for YouTube. You know, it's not face for radio anymore. And now everyone does that.
That's
but
true.
An old friend of mine, you might remember Travis, actually. He was the assistant sports director at KWVA when I was a sports director there. He's now the morning news anchor at Coin up in Portland.
Oh, great.
And Travis said to our students last year, he pulls it out of his pocket. He goes, "We wear it proudly. Make yourself look good." And I just went, you know what? Yeah, like, why not? This is the world we live in. It's a performance industry.
Yeah, it is.
We are 6 minutes in with Deputy Athletic Director Lisa Peterson. So, but seriously, inside the broadcast, Lisa walks in as we're getting ready. She's like, "You didn't send me any talking points." I did. They just didn't get to you.
They didn't get to me. Fair enough.
This is like the carrier pigeon that doesn't make it.
We were both right.
Did you have anything you wanted to add to the bullet points?
No, it was great.
Today?
I just sometimes, you put me on the spot, and I like to prepare myself.
Right. Yeah. I've been known to really put people on the spot. A lot of gotchas.
Yeah.
In the studio,
Exactly.
Football season.
Yes.
It was a good year, wasn't it?
It was a great year, and I understand feelings that people are having about it, but there was 4 teams left in the country, and we were one of them. And it's not easy.
No.
And I am so proud of them. And I believe in Dan. I believe in what he's doing. I believe in the players that we have, the coaches that we have, all the things. I'm excited, for Tosh and Will, but I'm also excited for Drew and Hamp. It's just, I don't know. If you would have told me at the beginning of the season that this is where we were going to end, I mean, who wouldn't have been happy about that? But sometimes it didn't. In some conversations, it doesn't feel that way, and I feel like that's unfortunate.
That's just such the pressure that is on right now, right?
And that's what's insane.
Yeah,
I mean, I was, talking with a group of people yesterday. It's really hard to do this at a high level, and you have to catch some breaks and, some things like that. Obviously, it's been widely discussed that the calendar needs to change, and I don't disagree with that, especially what I've been going through for the last 3 weeks. But, I just really hope that we appreciate what we have. And I mean, you remember years where we didn't win 10 games, and why is that all of a sudden a bad thing when it's only 10? And we won 13.
Yeah.
So I just, I don't know.
Back-to-back years, by the way.
Yeah, and so, we always talk about with our student athletes, it's a process. So appreciate the process. And I think that we're doing everything that we can. And then if it's not a true testament as to what we're doing, how many people could have left to go make millions that came back? So I just, I am very appreciative of our football program, of our student athletes, our coaches, and I hope that the rest of our fan base jumps on board with that.
I always come back to a conversation that Nick Aliotti had with the media when I was in school, right? And Scott's smiling as I bring this up. Okay, so Nick Aliotti at one point, he stood in front of the media, one of these press conferences. We call them scrums in the media world, right?
Okay.
After practice.
Okay.
And he's talking about how, it's so hard to win that many games and to have that level of pressure. But again, you want the pressure. You want the expectation. And I'm not saying that you don't. But I always come back to Coach Aliotti, who was pretty darn successful here at Oregon and saw a lot of eras of Oregon football, has continued to be a big fan and supporter of Oregon football, right? Okay. And I just never forget the way he said it. I'll do my best Nick Aliotti for you.
Okay, I can't wait.
Like, everyone's not excited to play in the Rose Bowl. And he's like, we were thrilled to go to the Rose Bowl one year. And you know how many games we won that year? 9. 9 games. And like they were thrilled at that point. Like, so yes, you want to be competing for championships.
Of course.
I'm not saying that you don't. Also, there's one team that wins at the end of every season. It's really hard to win the last game.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
I always come back to that when Coach Aliotti just, in a very Nick Aliotti way, just gave us some poetry there.
Yes.
In that conversation with the media. What's got now 12 years ago? 11 years ago, maybe? Yeah.
I was going to say, it has to be a little more than that.
So 13 years ago, I think.
Yeah, no, exactly. And again, that calendar didn't help us. The squad that we won those 11 games with wasn't the one that we took into the last 3 games. So
right, that's true.
It's just a different deal. But I think we had a very successful season, and I hope that fans can not jump on and off. Like, I hope that they can enjoy what we've got and continue to support. And some of it is luck. There's got to be some breaks, like week in and week out. There's a lot of things that happen, and obviously you always want to get better than you were the day before. And if we stop doing that, then certainly we need to push the panic button. But, I just think that there's a lot that goes into it, and I'm very proud of our football program.
Context for the question I'm about to ask you. Your career and your, I guess, life in some ways has been very influenced by student athletes and college athletics, right?
Yes.
As a student athlete, becoming an administrator and in various administrative duties on college campuses, at the conference level, now back here at Oregon. Like, you have seen college athletics through so many different lenses, right? I mean, fair,
yes.
like
100%.
Name some of the job duties, like rattle them off for people, because you've probably done like everything in college athletics, like. I'm not saying like you're Herb Yamanaka, but
no, I am not Herb Yamanaka. That's a bar that I don't know anyone.
Herb has literally done every job.
He has done every job.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you're not wrong. When I first started out, outside of my regular duties, like I used to hold cords for football coaches. Like this cord right here. I used to do that.
That's so great.
On the sideline. No, I've done ticket audits. I've done a lot of things.
Okay,
yes.
so I'm putting that for context
yes.
now. So how do you go about talking about that pressure that you've experienced yourself with both coaches and with student athletes? Because I think those pressures are so similar, but different age groups, different dynamics at play. How do you have that conversation as a leader?
Well, I think that you have to break it down more so than having it be so like the end result pressure, because again, I think that if you do that, think about that just in your daily life. Think about that with your kids. Like when you tell your kids, listen, you're going to have to walk and talk and take care of yourself when you're 18. Like you're not having those conversations with them now. You're teaching them every little step along the way so that when they get to 18, they're able to do those things.
I hope.
There we go. Well, your wife's involved, so we're okay.
That's right. 100%.
But so think about it that way. And now it's just in a season, right? Because if you look at the end result, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure. But it's every daily action and decision and experience that you go through that makes it where when it comes time at the end for what that's supposed to look like, that's how you get there. One of the things that I always worry about is how people manage that. Internally, like for the coach who feels all of that, and especially, we talk about all the time with the amount of money that's now in college athletics, like what that feels like, what you see how many people are getting let go 3 games in, 4 games in, and people are like, why are they doing that? Well, when you see the amount of revenue that hinges on the success of, your teams, and it's not going in the right direction, like you may feel like that's worth the change. So I don't think, I think that if you were to put the pressure of where you need to be at the end, like you have to win a national championship, you're not going to get there because it's going to break you in the middle. So you have to think that's why that saying, and obviously I didn't coin it, people say it all the time, but getting better every day, that's what helps you and how you navigate that. And that's why coaches no longer are just, okay, we're going to make somebody better with an X and O. Like, you are managing the mental, fortitude that people are going through to get there. And those that are able to do that and manage that and motivate and think of different ways to get them to think about it, like, those are the most successful ones. And then again, there has to be some luck that goes into it.
Yeah.
The
ball has to bounce a certain way, as we say, right?
Who did we show up with in running back at our last game? I mean, thankfully we had who we had, but so there's a lot that goes into it. And I think that I just try to be as supportive as possible, whatever. Every person also is in a different spot, whether that's a student athlete or a coach or an assistant coach or whatever. And however I can help them feel better about what is their responsibility is.
Lisa Peterson is with us. I'll tell you, this is why, maybe I don't even need to send bullet points your way.
Well, you and I mean, we don't have any problems discussing things with each other.
Well, look, but there is so much at play, I think, with everything that we're talking about. Like, there's so much at play for you that I just wonder about. Lisa Peterson. Oh, we have an echo. I'll tell you. I just wonder, though, seriously, Lisa, you have such a unique perspective in the ever-changing landscape. However, what still is at the core of every one of our conversations is like, no, there's a lot of magic that occurs around a place like this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I was, I've been so head down with all the stuff that goes on in my world now with the transfer portal. But this weekend specifically, I went to the softball diamond dinner and I went to the women's symposium on Sunday, and, just got reminded why you have to go through some of the hard times to feel like we're still being impactful to young people. And it's just a great reminder. I mean, we are teaching people so much more than just about their sport and the opportunities that we provide. And again, I am who I am because I was a college athlete. And so just being able to be reminded of those things, and that it's not 1 through 500 isn't all about the money and things like that, and what people can do as a college athlete. And so for those that, have certain feelings about NIL and about rev share, just know that there's the majority of people that you are impacting and supporting. It's really because, they're going to be able to be a doctor, or they're going to be a lawyer, or they're going to be, a teacher, whatever that is. Like, that's 80% of who we have. And they are pretty amazing, and I'm not saying that the others are not. I'm just saying that there's bigger things at play in a college athletic department.
Speaking of softball, Oregon softball head coach Melyssa Lombardi coming up on the show today, so stick with us for that. We will talk more about the Diamond Dinner, and how about that 60th season for Oregon softball, Lisa, and the 10th year of the Jane. That's got to be cool for you.
So the 10 years really, it's like you blinked, and I mean, I remember every day of the 9 months, and the first thing I did was check the forecast to see if it was raining or whatever that looked like, because we had a deadline. Mr. Sanders was pretty clear with me. If it wasn't done on time, he was taking all of his money back, and I wasn't really sure how I was going to navigate that. So
talking about pressure. We're sitting here talking about pressure.
Yes, no.
But you got it done.
You can ask Herb that, and then probably one of my, all-time favorite moments in my career was we took him down to the locker room and we showed him Jane's locker that we had there with a photo of them inside it. And he looks at me and we're walking out and he goes, "It's better than I could have ever expected," and so
cool.
Obviously a very cool moment. But yes, 60 years of softball. I'm glad now PJ Reese will appreciate that there's now a press box that is actually behind home plate for the last 10 of that. Hard to believe that it's been 10 years for Jane Sanders, but I'm so excited. There's a big alumni event. I know Coach Lombardi will talk about that, but we got to hear from Allie Bunker at the Diamond Dinner, and just, it's always great. I think the impact that we're having really is there, but when she reiterates it and who she is and all the things that she had because she was here, it's pretty awesome. And she doesn't know a time without the Jane. And so
how about that?
That's for me, I was like, wow, that's amazing. But I love that place, that building, that facility, and, really glad that we have it.
The broadcaster sure appreciated it, because the setup, for any of you that remember, oh man, the waterfall that would come down, and that was after the tremendous facilities crew. Do you remember this? Even had a tarp cover for when we did the games.
Yeah.
I will never forget the time. At the time, Coach Whitey walked up, and he just looked at me, and he went, "You're a little wet."
Yeah.
But that was what kind of made it fun. Because again, like, context informs everything, right? Then you have the chain, and you're just like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know, how
Of course.
cool is that thanks to the Sanders family?
Yeah, I mean, amazing. And I'm just really glad that we get to celebrate them and celebrate our alumni. You know, we had, there's been alumni involved in the planning, and originally they were going to have 2 separate weekends, you know, one to do the Sanders and one to do the alumni. And they spoke up and they're like, but then we don't get to thank the Sanders family. And so
Cool.
it's going to be cool. That's all going to be that weekend. So get your tickets if you haven't, because it'll be a pretty amazing thing.
Cool. Lisa Peterson, Deputy Athletic Director. What did we miss today?
I don't remember your list. I was all.
I think
Did
we
we hit it all?
I think I told you.
But you did. What else is coming
Yeah,
up?
what else is
Okay,
going
so you know we always have to talk about my packing. I am traveling with track this weekend.
Are you? Let's
yes,
go.
I'm so excited.
Razorback Invitational.
Yes, which is where
Big one.
Indoor Nationals is going to be.
Yeah, big one.
Yeah, and how about our 2 young women last weekend who are
Record-breaking performances.
Record-breaking.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to be able to do that. I hadn't in the past been able to go except for the championship meet, so really excited to get to do this one. And you know, this is really their first. I mean, they've had, you know, a couple other performances before, but this is their real big first foray into this. So really excited about that and the competition that they're going to get to see.
The indoor season, it's always, I mean, every bit of track and field is about peaking at the right time and the build-up, right? But to me, the indoor season is such a puzzle because, you know, it's okay, who's going to compete here, right?
Yeah.
Who goes to these different meets? You know, the coaching staff and the Tetris that they play. I'm forever amazed at just that build-up to a national championship in track and field.
Especially in a sport like that, right? Because then so then you peak at the indoor nationals and then but you still got outdoor.
Yeah.
And you just came off a cross country. And so, you know, like it's pretty amazing. Again, coaches doing way more than just getting student athletes better in their sport, right? It's pretty cool. But so I'm packing again, Joey, and my goal is a carry-on. You think I can do that for 3 days? He can't even respond.
You can do it.
I can do it. Wow. All right, Scott. I'm going to have to send a photo.
Are you a duffle bag carry-on?
No.
Rolling
a rolly,
carry-on? Okay.
And a backpack. Like, I still get my backpack, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You think I can do it?
Yeah.
We're going to a little bit colder weather, you know, but at least it's indoor facility.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Indoors.
Yeah.
You're going to be fine.
Okay.
You're
I like your trust in me.
You're going to be fine. Let's just say I'm glad that we have a tremendous equipment staff that travels backups.
Yeah, but Joey, my issue is overpacking, not underpacking.
Still. Lisa Peterson's our deputy athletic director. Covered a lot, but I think the perspective, Lisa, is so valuable.
I appreciate that, Joey.
To see the different aspects of everything that goes on and navigating. You said the calendar. Like, we didn't even talk about that because I think we all just agree, like, yes, there's things that have to be addressed around college athletics, but we knew that with all these changes, right? We knew it would take some time.
Absolutely, but, like, again, I've been around a long time, but I've never dealt with this. And the transfer portal, when you're doing contracts and agents and deadlines and all of that sort of stuff, is something I could never, even sitting here the last time I was here, could never even imagine what my last few weeks would have been like. So February 1st is the big goal.
February 1st.
Yeah.
We're almost there.
We're almost there.
Almost there.
We're going to make it.
Lisa Peterson, Deputy Athletic Director.
Thanks, Joey.
Can't thank
Scott.
you enough. Thanks for being here.
Always. And I can't believe you thought I was going to be late. There's no way.
No, we heard you outside.
Oh, okay. Good.
We just, that's, you know, you're always like a couple minutes early.
I know. Well, it's January.
There's only one senior administrator that is always earlier than you. Who do you think it is?
Wow. Rob.
No.
No, then I have no idea.
But good answer to say Rob. I mean, that's the appropriate
I'm
response,
sure he's listening.
Right? Jody Sykes.
Oh, of course.
Jody is
I
always
guessed that. I
always
guessed
early.
that.
Compliance.
Yes.
Always early.
There you go. I knew it wasn't Val. Love you, Val.
Val's usually early too, but
not earlier than me.
Jody's routinely early.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, the important things that you need to know on Duck Insider.
Yes, go Ducks.
Thanks, Lisa.
Thanks, Joey.
Timeout. when we return, talking softball with Coach Lombardi. Keep it here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
Duck Insider continues from the Country Financial Studios in 1 minute on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
If you build a relationship, then it becomes easier. If you build trust, it becomes easier. As a parent, you want what's best for your child. To give them the love that a child needs is probably the best you can do for a teenager.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
You say you never give in to a meltdown and never fill your feed with kid photos. You say you'd never put a pacifier in your mouth to clean it and never let them run wild through the grocery store. So when you say you'd never let them get into a car without you there, know it can happen. 1 in 4 hot car deaths happen when a kid gets into an unlocked car and can't get out. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Studio where it is almost time for Oregon softball season. Duck Insider presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Coach Lombardi is here. Coach, it's so good to see you. We did a little bit of a fall update, but now it feels like we're getting closer and closer. Do you always want more practice time, though?
I do, yes and no.
Yes and no.
Yes,
okay.
I do, but no, because we are tired of playing against ourselves and we want to play somebody new.
Is that especially true for a team like yours that has a lot coming back, a lot of returners? Like, then are you just chomping at the bit to play somebody else more so?
They're ready. They're excited to come together and be one, and then all of them together go against an opponent.
It makes sense. Okay,
yeah.
Let's go back. I want to zoom out a little bit today, and then next week we'll do like the big season. Okay, Coach, who's going to play where? Who's going to go where? And but there's a lot to discuss because we have not talked to you much since the fall came to a close. The Diamond Dinner has occurred, a new team lounge. So let's start, just zoom out for fans. What has the team been up to since we last spoke to you on the show after fall ball concluded, a winter break, and now getting ready for the season?
This group, they returned in the beginning of January. We start school right at the beginning. I think that first Monday right. In January. So they returned. First week, did 8 hours. After that, got into 20 hours. And really, we've just been working on preparing for the season, putting ourselves in a lot of live situations, preparing for pitchers that we're going to face, hitters we're going to face, just really making sure we're good to go, and then also preparing for the opponent. January is a tough month.
It is.
Because all we do is lift, condition, and practice, and then do it again.
Right.
And so not only physically you can feel a strain, but there's a mindset strain as well, which is great, because that piece is going to be a huge part of us going into the season.
That mental toughness, big part of every sport, but I think particularly on the diamond,
yeah.
right? I mean, I've always thought that the mentality of a longer season where you have so many games, and in a sport where failure is so built into it, right? Like, how do you go about coaching that mental strain that you're talking about?
We talk a lot. Last week, I'll give you an example. It was a long week for us. and we got to Saturday, and on Saturdays we scrimmaged. And I said, you guys, I want you to think right now, we just had a great first weekend. We crushed our first weekend.
There you go.
Did
Good.
great. Crushed it. And we are on our Sunday game. So I want you to have the mindset that today's the Sunday game. We have one time before we get on a flight and head home. What would that look like today?
The getaway day, as we say.
Yeah, I think it's just important with our team, the storytelling piece. You know, I can tell them all to do it, and they will do it, but I want to do things that are going to prepare us for something down the road, and give examples of it and why, and, you know, why we're doing it.
And you can talk about that. Here we are sitting in January having that conversation that may come to fruition in another month that starts with a J in June. Right?
Yes.
I mean,
yep.
That
weather.
Makes sense.
You know, last week was a cold week, and I'm like, this is beautiful Big Ten weather.
It is.
You know,
it
and
is.
they handled the weather great. So
I love that. Beautiful Big Ten weather. Can I steal that from you? I'm going to start using that over and over. It has a nice rhythm to it. Beautiful Big Ten weather. That's true. I mean, you're going to play in colder environments. And I imagine then, like you talk about the conditioning, coach, and correct me if I'm wrong, but even like staying loose and stretching, all those sorts of things, you got to coach that up, I'd imagine, when you get into a season.
We do. You know, there was some days last week where it's cold, and I'm not pretending like it's not cold.
Right.
Like I understand it is. What I want to know, are we in position where our bodies are warm and we are positioned to play? And, you know, it's cold everywhere right now. It's not just here. So are we in position to stay warm and to play the way we need to play?
Makes sense. You know, and to that point, like we talk so much, you and I have in the past at least, about how important the off season is and that conditioning piece that you alluded to. So it gives me a chance here just to remind fans of how important that is, Coach. Like, why do you focus on that conditioning aspect in the off season beyond the mental strain we just talked about?
Everything we do, it starts in the weight room. With what Coach KJ does with our athletes, it's tremendous. You know, you see the ball fly out of the park. You see the pitchers throw the ball harder. You see our infield able to move and get to balls and make it look really easy. It's because of what we do in the weight room with Coach, and they believe it. And when they go in there to get stronger, to get their reps, the mental piece that goes along with it. There's just so much that goes with it starts from the weight room.
Talking softball with Coach Lombardi. You got a chance to have a little bit of fun, I hope, this weekend too. Tell fans about the Diamond Dinner. For those that are unaware, give us the breakdown.
Yeah, the Diamond Dinner is a great opener for us. This is where we get to kick off the year with our fans, our supporters, our families, our entire team. We have a night of fellowship. We get a great dinner. We get to introduce our team. For this last one, I thought Maddie Milhorn and our freshmen were hilarious. I thought they just absolutely kicked the night off.
Good.
We get to talk about the season and what we've done in the fall to prepare. And what I think it really does is we have fans that like to come and watch the game, but then when you come to the Diamond Dinner, it allows you to get on the journey with us. And so you almost feel like part of the team. You get to get some inside pieces. You get to see these guys talk about being all dolled up. You get to see them dressed up versus just seeing them with their hair pulled back in their uniforms. You get to see their personalities. It's really just a wonderful evening. We have a lot of fun. It's a fundraiser. It allows us to raise some money for our program and get excited about the season.
When you talk about fellowship, I mean, I've said events like this are so special to me because it humanizes everybody, right? Like, there's so much pressure on a coach, on an athlete, and I hope that this at least alleviates some of it, right? Like, there's a lot of fans that just want to see the Ducks succeed, right?
For sure. We're dealing with young people,
right,
you know, that are student athletes and have a lot on their plate, and I think they do a really good job of multitasking their days. And I think, yes, it's good to see that you get to meet them, see the human side. You get to see that these are young women. So I think that's really good.
Every year we've discussed how there's some fun, and you mentioned the freshman class did a nice job this year. I was glad to hear that. Sounds like some good personalities then in the freshman group.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What were the fun and games that you can share this time around?
Yeah, we did What's in the Box. We had this big box, and we did What's in the Box, wrong answers only.
Good.
And there were some doozies. There were
yeah.
some doozy answers. What I'll tell you. Hilarious. And from there, we pulled. Do you want me to tell you what was in the box?
Sure.
Okay. We pulled out some different things. So we pulled out a Jane Sanity sign from the box.
Yeah.
And talked about we were 7th in the nation with home crowds. and how important that was to us. We pulled out 2 balls, Dez's walk-off against Stanford, her walk-off against Liberty. We also pulled out our Big Ten championship ring and our World Series ring, but we have a replica of our Big Ten, and it's real, and it's like could fit in the palm of my hand. It's huge. We pulled that out, showed some rings, and then we pulled out a World Series pennant, and then all this we had video of it as well.
That's
so we'd pull it out of the box, and then on the video you would see Kedry's walk-off against Ole Miss. So just some different fun recaps of last year, and it was fun. It was great.
You just rattled off like a lot of great memories, from one season too. Like, I know you want to look forward a little bit, but to look back and be able to enjoy that, like it is nice removed from the season that y'all had, right? To be able to go, man, there were some good times last year, right?
It was great. It was great to get an opportunity to reflect one more time on version 7 and just all of the great things that happened throughout the year.
Okay, now important question. Is it version 8 or version Infinity?
Both.
Okay.
It's version 8 with the infinity sign.
Yeah, I like it.
We talk a lot about having no finish line.
There you go.
You know, last year I felt like we were working to get to the finish line, and this group with version 8, it's about understanding who we are right from the start and to come out every day and play great. Whether we're at the beginning of the season, whether we're at the end, just an endless connection between each other. So I feel like those things fit with version 8.
See, here I am asking, a funny question, and we get no, really, this is thought out, right? I mean,
yes.
but that's,
of course.
But I say that like tongue in cheek, Coach, because we've talked before. Like messaging is so important for a coach, right? And consistency, and that's kind of what you're getting at here. Even beginning of the season, you're talking about how situations could come to fruition in June. You're having that conversation in January. How do you handle that as a coach over an entire season? Like, that's a lot to keep track of, I'd imagine, as a head coach.
I think I've got a great coaching staff, and everything we do is very intentional. I think for us as a group, it's important that we tell stories to our team and think ahead, like really think into the future of what are all what are the possibilities of things that could come up, and are we prepared for it? Versus it coming up and then, now we need to make sure, how can we prepare for it prior? So
now on the, shall we say, why you come to Oregon front, just yesterday, the Oregon team got to see the new team lounge. So you can narrate for us a little bit, Coach, for fans that maybe missed the video on social media. Take us through the players getting to see their new lounge.
Well, it was pretty cool because we had the seniors go in first, and then juniors, sophomores, freshmen, and this was a room that it had like a Gatorade refrigerator. It had some couches, had a couple Oregon brand tables. It had a big ping pong table in it, and we just needed some tender love and care. It just was time to do some new things with it. And
cool.
With the lounge, what we wanted to feel like, our stadium, the Jane Sanders Stadium, is just unbelievable, and the branding that we have in and outside the stadium is I love it. We wanted to have one room that we did not brand Oregon, and that we made it very, like, when you walk in, you feel like you're walking into somebody's home.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's 2 doors. So the door that walks into the kitchen, when you walk in, you almost feel like you're walking into like that. When you walk somebody's home, right into the hall, and they'll have like a table and pictures or whatnot.
Yeah. Welcoming.
It feels like you're walking into their home.
That's cool.
You could see on the wall, we had the big family picture.
Yeah,
that is
that was
something
cool.
we take a family picture every year. It's really important to us. So I wanted them to have a feel of they were in their home.
Yeah. It almost felt like, and this is just like me. You mentioned like you walk into the home, but it also almost feels like that like Hollywood green room sort of. You know what I mean? Like getting ready in that way. You're smiling, so it sounds like that was part of the inspiration.
I love it. We got a black chandelier, crystal chandelier.
That's what I mean.
No, I just wanted
cool.
it to feel like a not like a girls' living room, but like young women, kind of chic, just warming, inviting. Like that's what I wanted.
Well, the reaction, you nailed it, clearly.
Yes, and what I will tell you is this all started off with almost like a napkin. We were all eating lunch at this summer when they all came to campus. And I'm like, you guys, if we were going to do this, what would you like to do? So they gave their ideas. Elon put a thing together for us, almost like a virtual 3D
cool
picture of the room. And then Remington added some ideas, and they told us things that they wanted, what
So
they
it
were
came from
looking
them.
for.
Yeah.
Yes, and then from there, what we wanted to do is take it and add on to the things that they were looking to have.
Cool.
So.
Cool. So now do you change it a little bit every year? Or do you know yet? We're going to feel it out. We don't know.
I hope not.
You like it?
I hope they like it for a good while. I mean, I think it'll be a while before we need to change it. But it's just, I feel like it's very inviting. I think it's just a great room for them to just walk away from Oregon softball and just be in there with each other and enjoy the space.
Well, and Jane's the home, right?
Yes.
It's going to feel like that. It has to feel like that, That's why you talk about the home field advantage, This is part of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Now today, some nuts and bolts. Number 5 in the latest preseason poll. I don't know if you care, but I think fans care at least. You like to be ranked, I guess, right?
For sure. It's important to understand where you start,
yeah.
In order to get to that finish. So it's good.
All right. And then there are, by the way, more preseason watch lists than I could probably spend a whole hour just listing off and unfurling the scroll. And that's a good thing, too, right? You like to have your players recognized preseason.
Yeah, these guys work hard. I think it's great to get, those acknowledgments. I think for them, they will tell you anything like individual, anytime you get acknowledged, it feels good. They all work hard, but ultimately it's the team accomplishments that we're striving for.
All right, we'll talk next week about all of the schedule, the first weekend, and you talk about scheduling up. Safe to say you scheduled up, right, Coach?
Yes.
Yeah. It's also the 60th season of Oregon softball. And I wanted to mention that today because this is the first of many weekly appearances. Coach is always kind enough to spend a lot of winter and a lot of spring in the studio with us, and that there's going to be some fun events around the 10th year of Jane Sanders Stadium, talking about making it a home, and then the 60th year of Oregon softball. That's going to be pretty special this season.
Yes. No, it's going to be really special. We've right now have a huge group me going for our alumni to get on. They're all on together. They're sharing all these different moments from when they played. Just really working on having a big build-up to Alumni Weekend, and that's the Washington series.
Cool.
And then after. So I can't wait. Anytime we get our alumni on campus, I always put them in front of our team and, just want to listen to their words of wisdom and get them connected and on this journey with this group.
Good time for me to say the home opener is on February 27th. And by the way, there's only 20 reserved seats left. So there's your ticket update. There's some GA available in the Bob as well, but only 20 reserved seats left for that home opener on February 27th. Coach, I got to half of my bullet points. Means we'll have to do it again next week.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Coach. Coach Lombardi talking Oregon softball. When we come back, Grateful Ducks at Matthew Knight Arena. Keep it here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
We know you turn to the Duck Store for all your game day needs, and for students at the University of Oregon, it's even more. Class supplies, jobs, a seat on our board, a place to take a quick coffee break. Because we're your student-first, non-profit college store, every purchase you make directly supports the very community we serve. From working in our counters to studying in the classroom, from directing our stores to cheering in the stands, the people we serve, the students, are the very people who are the Duck Store.
More Duck Insider from the Country Financial Studios after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Let's take a moment to breathe. Deep inhale. Extend your spine. Remain focused on what you're doing. If safe to do so, exhale slowly, leaning to one side. Inhale back to center. If safe to do so, exhale slowly to the opposite side. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. This message is brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B. I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D. That means do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Stuck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack in the Country Financial Studio. I'll tell you what, men's basketball has had an up and down year, and it's been down lately. And unfortunately, some bad injury news for the Ducks heading into an 8 o'clock start on Wednesday against UCLA. It is the Grateful Ducks game for men's basketball. Ducks will be having some fun with some tie-dye Wednesday evening against UCLA. Hearing a little bit from Dana Altman this morning as the Oregon basketball head coach breaks down where the Ducks are at heading into this one.
How's Big E and Takai? They'll both be out tomorrow. Big E had some tests and be meeting with the doctors here in the next couple of days to decide what's the best way to go forward. But and then Takai twisted that ankle pretty good, so he didn't practice yesterday. I'm pretty sure he'll be out also.
It's a shoulder?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Just like hit the ground or something like that?
I watched that film. I'm not sure, what happened there. If it just got jerked, if he fell. Watching the film, it's kind of hard to figure out how it got hurt, but he's struggling with it. They had an MRI, so he's meeting with the doctors here in the next couple of days to figure out what course of recovery they'll have.
With Takai, just kind of when it rains, it pours for you guys right now. Lacking offense already. How do you replace?
We, it just got to play. Guys are going to have to step up, and but it is, we're having trouble scoring, obviously, and you take out your two leading scorers and now another guy that's maybe third or fourth, what he is, just makes scoring difficult. And we're just going to have to move the ball, try to get some opportunities. Guys going to have to step up and hit a few shots. It's an opportunity for a guy like Jamari to have a chance to show what.
Yeah,
no, you'll get an opportunity to play a little more. Dev, Drew and Luke, are going to have to play. I think down to 8 scholarship athletes with JJ redshirting. So those 8 guys are going to get to play, and then Drew and Luke will play also. Miles Stewart could get some minutes also.
Would you like from FF in Seattle?
He just got to play a little bit. He just coming back. He had an opportunity there to make a play, took an extra dribble and got it stripped. But no, he's, just starting to practice here in the last few weeks. So it's just a work in progress.
And you haven't had too many stretches like this in your career, or too many seasons like this in your career. What's it like just kind of going through these and trying to figure out a way to work your way out of it?
Oh, probably been my first year at Creighton since we had a year like this. But, you got to keep grinding. There's no easy answer. There's no quick fix. There's no strategic, well, we're going to do this and it's going to, you play as hard as you can. You try to keep the guys together. They're smart guys. They know, we're down a few guys. So, you can't trick them. Fellas, there is no easy solution to this. We're just going to have to play as hard as we can and try to hit some shots and, try to make something happen. But, no, it's, the guys realize where we're at. They know that, it's been a struggle here and, they just can't give in to it.
Has there been any difficulty recently just kind of getting players to stay motivated in a way, just because it feels like some of the goals at the start of the season, like into the tournament?
Sure.
Or whatever, more out of the reach?
No, it's you play for pride. You play for, we've got to give a lot of credit to like KJ hasn't given into it at all. Sean, those guys, really proud of them. It's not easy. KJ's been here 2 years. We've gone to the tournament both years. He's been a big part of that. It's not easy. Sean came here from Duke and Ohio State. He wanted to win. So no, it's not easy on those guys. It's not easy on, Nate and Jackson and, Big E. Now TK sitting on the sidelines, when they want to play. They came here to play. So, no, it's not an ideal situation. The guys have done a good job, but I wanted to point those two guys. I thought KJ and Sean have handled it remarkably well, for their standards and, where they've been, Mount Verde High School and winning. They've battled it and kept their heads up. Shows a lot of character.
When you go through a slump that you yourself aren't used to, how do you keep the morale up within a group of guys? You're going through a rough patch right here. You continue to lose guys. How do you keep the energy level up with the guys?
Well, you continue to challenge them. I've said before, I've told the guys, we're judged on how we handle adversity. In the good times, everybody's good. And the bad times reveals character, reveals your resolve. And so, if I'm going to preach that, I've got to live it. So I'm not going to change my approach. I'm not going to change the way I challenge the team to get ready for a ball game. If we're not rebounding, then we're not rebounding. We did a poor job at Washington. I'm not going to let the guys off the hook for that. We are undermanned. We're a little small, but we can still rebound the ball better than we did. So you still got to play to the capabilities of what you have. And I didn't believe we did that against Washington. That's why I was really disappointed. I thought the games prior to that, we were pretty close to what we could. We just didn't get it done. But the other day, I didn't think we did that. So we'll challenge them to get ready for UCLA. And our guys are going to have to play really well. We're going to have to cut down on some of the mistakes. Our ball movement's got to get a lot better. We're going to have to hit some shots. We haven't been shooting the ball very well. So all those things are going to have to come together.
Des and Devin, what's the, growth they're going to need to make the last half of the season for you?
They got to do a lot better, production-wise, on the boards, defensively. They got to talk a lot more. I don't believe they're using their athleticism to make plays, especially on the defense and on the boards. Got to both shoot free throws better. So, no, they're really going to have to pick it up. Those are the two guys, that have a chance to really make a big jump. You mentioned Jamari. I believe he does. But those two guys have a chance to make a big jump to keep us competitive.
Do you have any update on Nate and Jackson? A couple weeks ago, you're like, Nate might be a month, and has Jackson had surgery?
No. Jackson's out. I think they're just going to go rehab to go through his. I think they determined that he doesn't need surgery. They're just going to go rehab. Nate working his tail off to get back. Not sure, he won't play against UCLA or Iowa. Purdue, Indiana road trip. I'm hoping, but I don't know if that's even a possibility.
And what's that say about Nate's just drive to get back then? Because I think the way the season's going up, people wouldn't really be surprised. Hey, you've got professional opportunities.
No, I think it says a lot about him. He's working. He's in there with Clay all the time, trying to get back, and he's made a big jump. So no, like I said, Nate, for the 5 years, he's had a lot of ups and downs with injuries and stuff. But one thing's always been, he wants to be a Duck, and he loves it here. And no, he's working his tail off to get back. So hopefully that'll work.
Just to clarify something, you said Jackson's going to just rehab without surgery, but he's out.
Yeah,
for the year.
yeah. they just said it's going to take a while to rehab that hand. So
I guess just what's the report on UCLA then? what do you see on their film preparing for them?
Well, they had a big win against Purdue, and they're talented. They're old. They've Mick's done a good job of keeping them going. They had a tough start to the season. I didn't realize, but they had 5 of their first 7 on the road. We had 4 of our first 6. I thought that was, but they had 5 of 7. So a little tough start there, but got a lot of home games coming up, here in the future. So they'll be, they're talented. And Sky Clark has been out, but I don't know if he'll be back for our game or not. Had a little hamstring strain. He's been out a couple games, but they've been healthy, and he's got them playing good. We'll have to play really well to give ourselves an opportunity.
You guys were down double digits at halftime of that first matchup, cut it down to single digits pretty early in the second half. What do the guys have to do to start the game how you guys started the second half of your first matchup against UCLA?
Well, every game, is different. We put ourselves in position there. We had a good run and got ourselves in a position to challenge down the stretch. Gave up a couple easy baskets there that kind of let them get their heads back up. But no, we're going to have to play really well. Nate was coming off an injury in that game and couldn't hit a shot. Which really kind of held us back. And that was game KJ was sick. So. We're hoping that, we can minimize their easy baskets. They're good in transition when they get those opportunities. Like I said, they're old. Those guys, Daly and Bibido, and those guys been together. They and Dent coming from New Mexico. They're old and experienced. Mick does a great job. So we know what's in front of us. We know we have to play really well to, like I said, put ourselves in a position.
That's Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Oregon men's basketball taking on UCLA. Banged up. No Ezekiel Demir, no Takai Simpkins. Those are the new additions to the injury report. Nate Biddle hoping to work his way back in the coming weeks. Jackson Shellstad sounds like the Ducks won't see him the rest of the year as he continues to rehab that hand. Just one of those years. And as Coach Altman said, you just got to play. Dylan Thieneman making news today. All-America honors both on and off the field. He was named to the 2025 Academic All-America First Team today. Congratulations to Dylan Thieneman. Heading to the NFL, a transfer from Purdue, he maintained a 3.95 GPA while starting all 15 games for the Ducks. This afternoon, the Oregon football schedule comes out officially. We'll break it down tomorrow on the show. See that?
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
When I met both of them, it was like my missing pieces were found. Like it was just like an instant, these are my kids. If you're considering adopting a teen, just do it. Kids need families. I don't care the age, everybody deserves a family.
Learn about